Live, man. At least I think we are. Hopefully there's no technical difficulties. Yeah, what's up, everybody? And everybody, I mean just me in the camera right now. Yeah, I want to start getting into this whole live game, man. I feel like there's a lot of... Hold on, I gotta take myself off the screen. This is weird, I'm looking at myself. Alright, there we go. I want to start getting into the live game, man. You know, I feel like there's a lot of novelty in live media because this is raw. This is uncut. Gary Haskins. This is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So when they make an AI of me in the future, they're getting the rawest data that they can get from this. So yeah, man. Just want to bring you guys along for the ride. I got a few things lined up, a few videos that I want to dive into. So I figured, you know what? We can dive into it together. We can go into the rabbit hole together, holding hands, locking arms in this rabbit hole of Gary Haskins Live. But yeah, man, this is pretty cool that anybody can do this. You know, anybody can set up a live television show in your living room for really not that much money. Anybody can do it nowadays. It's pretty wild when you think about it. Like live, bro, live. There's something special about being live. You know, and even if you're watching this in the future, it's just the fact that this was a moment captured in time. There's no editing to this. Like there's truly, this is that moment. You know what I mean? Like if video is some form of time travel, then the closest thing we have to capturing a certain moment is capturing it live and recording it live. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense to people. It's all about the novelty, bro. It's all about the novelty, bro. And that's what live does, is it creates novelty. Novelty. But yeah, other than that, man, let's get into a little DOS. You know, a little bit of ROM DOS just to start this thing off. And you know what? I think I'm gonna shut the jazz off. And yeah, because jazz and ROM DOS, I don't think they go together. But yeah, bro, hold on. Hey, bear with me on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm still getting used to the whole OBS software and everything on here. So bear with me, okay? Anybody watching this, just bear with me, please, okay? And please don't swap me. If you swap me, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Please don't swap me. If you swap me, I will find you. Whoever you are, I will find you. I know people. I have connections. I know how to get things done. So if you motherfuckers swap me, I will find you. Other than that, let's get into a little ROM DOS, shall we? Hold on, let me just make sure this is good to go. All right, boom. The plane of pure love.
You may or may not ever know your guide or guru in this lifetime. It may not matter. Because you are guided as long as you are asking in purity. And every event of your life is grist for the mill. There is no event that is excluded. It's as if you perceive your whole life as a dialogue with God. And every act can do it for you or can take you deeper into the illusion. You can keep the chain going of births and deaths on and on. God doesn't care. The guru doesn't care. The guru isn't in time. God isn't in time. There's no rush. You're going to get home anyway. There isn't any time in the dance anyway. In the beginning and in the end are all the same place from where you sit when you're behind time and space. The whole dance of incarnations, the whole clock from 12 to 12, the millions of births you've taken, millions of these, are they're nothing. They don't even exist. Nothing happened. The beginning, the middle, and end are all here now. You are already the fully enlightened being, but you don't know it because you're busy being at 3:30 or 6:15 or 10, trying for 10:30. Okay. The whole clock already exists. The beginning, the middle, and the end. And what is potentially lying within you, which you know, is the capacity to be conscious, free of time and space, free of attachment to any form, any plane, Put in the words of the heart, what it means is to open yourself to love with no boundary. When Meher Baba says, I am the ocean of love, drown in me. To open your heart and let that love flow and pour and grow and open and flood you and flood the universe. For the plane of consciousness at which you know everything, because you are the consciousness of the universe, and there's only one of it, and everything, you are capable of knowing everything. You don't know everything, but you are capable of knowing everything because it's all within you. To acknowledge that in fullness, you must understand that is also the plane of pure love, which is the plane of flow, the plane of no boundaries of energy. But it's frightening because you disappear into it.
Ooh, that's good.
You disappear into it.
Damn. You disappear. What disappears? That's good. To love. To love is the flow. Love has no constraints. It seems so simple when Ram Dass puts this to us in under 4 minutes. It's like, yes, of course. But why do we complicate it? Why can we not be beings of pure love all the time? We can. What's holding us back? Our desires to be something, to be somewhere, to be somebody. But it's really just, those are all just fallacies, man. Man, that's good. Alright, yeah, I don't know I have much else to say about that. Let's move on to another one, related video. Dissolving the Fear, Finding Your Own Beauty, Ram Dass. I'm not going to go on a Ram Dass marathon here, but I like the start. You know, I like the setting the tone. Setting the tone with a little bit of love from the man himself. Alright, here we go. I don't know how this one's going to be, but it's Ram Dass. Should be good.
It takes us a long time, many of us more longer than others, to come up out of the darkness of our feelings of unworthiness, of unlovableness, of allowing that liquidity to happen, of feeling safe to be in the presence of love. When I first experienced my guru loving me, my mind kept flickering with the thoughts of, if he only knew. And then I realized that he did know. And he was still loving me. And it took me through the and whatever you are, however you are at this moment, when you can accept that you are lovable, then the fear starts to dissolve. It's allowing your own beauty. It's allowing the beauty of your soul, which is behind your personality. It's behind all that stuff. Just another radiant bit of light, another soul. And I think at this moment, it's nothing violent to do. You just observe the kind of sadness, the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of separateness, the feeling of pain. You just watch it and allow it. And don't get too fierce about it, or don't feel too deprived about it, and don't milk the self-pity of it. You know, just notice that it's just a passing show. It's just another place your mind is grabbing. It's all mind. You realize that. The only thing you're stuck in is not even history. It's just mind. It's a model you have of who you think you are and who you think everybody else is. That's all it is. That's exactly what's causing your suffering at this moment, is your own thought forms. And you're clinging to them and saying, this is real. It's like somebody who sees a rope and they think it's a snake and they get frightened, and then somebody says it's just a rope, and then suddenly they're not frightened anymore. And it's as simple as that. It really is the mind. And that's finally why you're driven to work on your mind, to quiet your mind. because you see the way your personality is really just a series of thoughts that you keep investing. Like the first moment you felt the sadness or the loneliness or the emptiness or the pain, that started a whole track of, oh, this is like I've always felt in the past, and you started to build the whole storyline all over again.
I'm sorry.
And it's at that moment, it's just, sadness. Oh, yes. Comes and goes. Because I would say that most people in this room, if you scratch the surface, you will find some residual unworthiness from just having grown up on Earth. I mean, it's interesting because you don't understand that the personality itself is rooted in fear and vulnerability. That's where the root is of it. Because you go from being, can you imagine being the baby that is everything in the universe to starting to be this little vulnerable tiny thing? And the first time you realize there are big forces and you're not them, how incredibly inadequate one must feel if you could give words to it. And every one of us has been through that moment. And for most of us, it's buried so deeply, we can never get hold of it.
Damn, I want to listen to that more. Wait on the cliffhanger. That's good, though. I like that part about the baby. That's what it seems like, right? Like babies, they know they're everything. They know they're part of the infinite. They're just one with everything, man. Everything's great. Just pure innocence, pure joy, pure love, I guess you could say. And then gradually, from the first time we're told no, there's that separation. We're molded into separation. From the first time you go, don't touch that. You say, what's that other telling me no? Or swatting my hand away. What is that? Is that something else other than me? And then your mind starts to build models on, like, oh, this is other than me. This is other than me. This is not me. This is not me. This is not me. This must not be me. It's causing me distress. This must not be me. And we just build that into our head, and thus we become adults. Separate adults in this life. And it's almost like the journey of spirituality, quote unquote, is working our way back into that childlike, baby-like innocence, and to see the connectivity of it all, and that the separation is just something we were molded into. I think it was a necessary mold. You know, there's nothing bad about us getting sculpted into the ego. I think it's necessary. You know, this world of Maya, of Prakriti, is necessary for us to awaken back into that, staying with the separateness, knowing that I am a separate self, but also, ultimately, behind the scenes, we are unified. We are that baby. We're still that baby that's just joyous at everything and just, right? Just that baby-like feeling. We are that still. That's still in us. It's like we have to find that essence. Remember that essence. Come back to that essence. I hope I'm recording. I don't even know if I'm recording right now. I hope I'm not talking to myself. I mean, I'm still talking to myself anyway. Yeah, we're good. I like your bald arc on your head. Thank you. What is a bald arc, man? And why is it yummy? A bald arc? It's the Ark of the Covenant. It's on my head. Found it. Alright, so, yeah, switching this thing up. Hold on, boom, here we go. We're getting into a little, I like watching old videos, like the first OG videos, right? That's traveling back in time. So this one's from 1906, and it's remastered. I think when people add color to videos, it adds life. Like somehow, man, somehow. When you look at an old video and you see it's black and white, you're like, oh, that's from a long time ago, from a different world. I was not even born until 1990 something, 1906. That's so distant. But then when you see it in color, it's like, oh, wait a sec. Wait a second. Those people are like me. They look like me. There's something about color, man. So yeah, without me going off about it, let's just watch this thing. send me how people do this, that would be appreciated. And I think the sound effects are added, to be honest. I'm gonna turn that down, even though I do like the sound. But look at this, man. This was over 100 years ago. This was just people living their life, going to work, gotta get home, pay the bills. Oh, my wife's complaining about me. Oh, I gotta, you know, just stupid stuff that people had in their heads as they were walking through this. Now, all these people are dead. Every single person in this is dead, and if they're not, they're probably one of the oldest people alive. It's crazy. And this is here forever. So think about when it's, you know, 21, 22. And you can still watch this video. And maybe people will be watching this video as they're watching this video. It's just an endless, it's an endless hole of videos that you can just dive into. And that's time travel. Video is time travel. Alright, this is enough of the road. Is there anything else? I mean, it's still crazy. Like, that guy, that was a real guy. He had thoughts, feelings, emotions, people he loved, people he didn't love, and he's on this video forever. He had no clue. These people had no idea. None of these people had any idea that someday there would be some guy on this thing called YouTube, or wherever you're watching this, watching them just conduct their life as other people watch that guy watch them on the road. It doesn't make any sense, right? That idea doesn't even make any sense to these people, right? It doesn't even, like, you'd have to explain to them what a camera is really. I mean, they probably barely know what cameras are and how they work. And then you have to introduce the internet, phones, microphones, and, like, I don't know, man. They're still using horse and buggies. Like, come on, bro. They have no idea. This practically is a different universe. Like, practically this is looking into a whole different dimension. But the thing is, it's not. We can say it is, but it's really not. Those are just our ancestors. Okay, I thought this was going to be a little bit more cool than a road. Even though this is cool. This is pretty cool. I thought it was going to be a little more scenes than this. Yeah, it's just some guy just walking around the road. But you know what? For back in 1906, this was cool. They probably went home and watched this thing, developed it, and like, whoa, man, this is crazy. In black and white at like 5 frames per second. This is insane. Yeah, we just did this. How are we looking through time? Like, think about it, right? When you actually sit down and think about what a video is, it's the closest thing we have to time travel. And it's forever. This video is forever. As long as the internet's forever, it's forever. This moment in time is captured forever. It's definitely the closest thing we got to time travel. If we can't travel forward in time, we can travel back at least, somewhat. Somewhat. Like, I can't be there, but at least I can witness it. And I think if I could be there, that wouldn't make any sense, right? Because then you get into, like, the grandfather paradox. So you can't technically go back in time, as far as we know. Like, this is time travel. This is the best we're gonna get. Alright, this is enough watching the road. I thought this was gonna be cooler. Sorry, guys. I thought this was gonna be something fun. It's still crazy. You know what's crazy, too? Everyone wore a suit. Everyone was dressed up. Imagine if you just, like, went outside in your boxers. What would people do? Would you get, like, stoned to death or something? And when was the first, like, when did they stop wearing suits? That's what I want to know, too. Because there had to be, like, a few, you know, rebellious bohemians that were like, you know what? Fuck the suit, dude. I'm not wearing the suit anymore. Fuck this suit and tie. It's hot. It's 95 degrees. Why are we all wearing suits? I'm just going to get some coffee. I gotta wear a suit. Somebody had to do it, right? Someone had to be like, hey, man, like, I don't gotta, like, put on, you know, 4 layers of clothes just to live. And people did that at the beach, too. There's videos of people. Let me see if I can find it. There's videos of people, like, old videos of people at the beach, and they're in full suits at the beach. No. I don't know. There's a lot. Let's go California, 1950s. Why not, right? 1950s. That was a time. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I can imagine that was a crazy time to be alive. Alright, this video is definitely a little bit better. I always get Fallout vibes from 1950s stuff. I feel like Fallout did a very good job of, I think it was the 1950s or 40s that they captured. They did a very good job of like getting that time era. Fallout's a great game. Shout out Fallout. Alright, this is not that interesting. God dang it. Like, you know what? These people had no idea either. Even though this was 40-something years down the line, these people didn't know about YouTube and the internet and that they were going to be online. This thing called YouTube. Like, what the... Like, it's just so far out of the realm of consciousness, man. And who knows what's coming in 50 years for us? Who knows? If this happened in 50 years then, like, what's gonna... Like, where are we gonna be? Is there gonna be, like, some kind of... I can't even imagine where we'll be. There's probably gonna be some kind of artificial intelligence that's made out of the stuff that we make now that recreates the world that we were in. Like, you know how, like, video pretty much, like, recreates the world? Like, it's literally just, like, a visual and audio recreation of the world. Like, what if we'll be able to do that from the data that we input from the internet in the future? But it'll be like, you can go there. Like, because right now we can't go there, right? Like, we can just see it, but we can't affect it. But what if we can build in the future with quantum computing or supercomputing somehow? This is hypothetical, obviously. The worlds that we can build, like, the past world based upon data and go into these simulations and, you know, just live a life or just live in a certain time or for like a week, like go on vacation. Hey, I'm going on vacation back to 2012. Something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what we're in now. And you have to find your way out. All right, that's the truth, man. We're actually in a simulation, and I came here to tell all of you people, I'm from the future. I'm trying to free you guys. You have to find your way out of this kind of coded landscape, okay? You're in a simulation. This is actually just a giant computer program. I figured it out. I'm getting my way out of this, and I'm trying to let you guys know. We're all getting out of this together, okay? We're in this, like, crazy-ass... The year is actually 2086. It's not 2022. We just decided to go to 2022 and go on a little vacation, but we got stuck here because the time machine got broke, and we can't make our way back. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny, but we could be. You never know. We could be. Because what if... when you go into the time machine, like, you can go, but you can't hold any memories. You have to go back, and you just have to be, like, innocent in a way. Because if you do, then you're going to build karma. If you have memories, and you can't go back with idea of the future. That doesn't make any sense. You have to go back and be innocent there, and then eventually you'll come back. I don't know, bro. All right, so this is another one. We're switching up. We're switching this up into... I haven't seen this either. It's called One Day in the Coldest Village on Earth. 17 minutes. I don't know if we're going to watch all 17 minutes, but we'll see how it is. Might be interesting. I don't like the cold, so I want to see how these people do.
7 a.m. Kirill Petrov, the man of the house. The first thing that he does every morning is to heat the house with a wood-burning stove to keep his family warm on the ice-cold morning in Yakutia.
I guess this is Siberia.
Because of the severe climate, Kirill needs a lot of wood to heat the house for 9 months non-stop. Just like a dessert, drinking water in Yakut village is precious.
Oh, that's crazy. I just did a DNA test. I got some Yakut DNA in me, man. That's wild. So my DNA, I'm from the coldest area. I'm a cold motherfucker. It's in my veins. It's in my blood. I'm cold-blooded, baby. Yakut.
There are no water treatment facilities because the pipes freeze during the long winter. So ice is the main source of water. Kirill and the villagers harvested the ice from the river in the middle of November, when the temperature was favorable to harvest the ice. Meanwhile, Kirill's wife Lyubov is making delicious and traditional breakfast, gyertyakh, whipped cream with a strawberry jam which was harvested during the summer. In Yakutia, due to the harsh climate, it's almost impossible to grow fruits and vegetables, so most of the Yakut desserts consist of dairy food. It's 7:40 a.m. and it's time for Aryan, the youngest son, to wake up.
Aryan! Dur da tangar bolla.
Toot toot.
Aryan is 9 years
wake up.
old and attends the local primary school. The children in Yakutia will go to school when it's warmer than minus 54
Whoa.
degrees.
Wow.
But when the temperature drops below minus 55 degrees,
wild.
it's too
I can imagine what
dangerous
that
to
feels
go
like.
to school.
Dangerous.
Today is relatively warm in Yakutia, only
Must not
minus
snow
40
days.
degrees, which means Aryan must go to school. Like most people around the world, he washed his face and brushed his teeth. Aryan uses the ice-cold water that his dad prepared earlier.
Yeah, they obviously don't have running water, right? Because it's probably all frozen.
Breakfast.
What is
Fatty pancakes and whipped cream are high-energy food that warms you up during cold winters. Aryan's older sisters are living and studying in university far away from the village. His parents wish for him to study well so he can live his life as he wants.
Min oğlur haqa heriger olur ki bugünden bardan hatıq taqud iten taharabın qazbi dil beten oğlurun atem bir beten kurduk ütüyecan gından itiqtaq ülene bölür ülene taptır
crazy language?
cehney ütü hanala jomol taqtar
That's not Russian, right?
In Yakutia,
Yakutia. Let's figure out where that is. Yakutia. It's got to be Russia, right? It's got to be Sakha Republic. What is that? What is that? Hold on. The diamond mine. Oh, I thought it was like an asteroid. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty wild though. Damn. That's got to be a lot deeper than it looks. I mean, that's a building. That's wild. That's deep. I didn't know they go that deep for diamonds, man. All for us to look good. To propose to our wives. All that work. It's crazy. Other than that, yeah. Okay, where's Yakutia? Osaka. Okay. Let me get a good picture. Come on. All right, that's a pretty big region. I wonder what. Let's check out what the population is of Yakutia or Sakha. 964,330 people. That's in 2018. That's a good amount of people living in frigid negative 60 degree Fahrenheit temperatures. Oh my God. I think it's cold when it's like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crazy, man. That must be like you go outside and you're cold. There's no like, you know, sometimes when you go from your warm house into outside where it's cold, and it's like you're still warm for a little bit and then eventually you get cold. That's probably like instant. Like you just freeze. I wonder how long it takes to freeze to death in that temperature, man. It must be like really quick. You probably don't even see it coming. I'm going to guess, dude, 30 minutes, an hour. And you're frozen. Like, that's really cold, bro. And if it's not 30 minutes or an hour, it's got to be like 2 hours, 3 hours. That's craziness. That's wild. All right, let's get back into the video. Yakutia. What is wake up? Toot toot. That's what I want to say to people. Toot toot. Wake up.
locals understand the importance of learning the right clothing to survive in such extreme winters.
Yeah,
It's an
the layers.
absolute must to wear several layers of clothing and wear insulated pants,
all about the
because the
layers.
knees are particularly prone to freezing.
That makes sense. There's nothing on me. It's
Aryan's
just
mom
bone.
always makes sure that Aryan
that's
wears
crazy.
enough clothes, because without proper dressing, the cold will reach deep inside your bones, threatening your life. She also makes sure that his face is fully covered, otherwise the exposed part can get frostbite.
This poor kid. Yeah, study well and go to a warmer place, man. That's what he's saying. Yeah, get out of this place. I don't think humans are built for this. We're not supposed to live in this kind of weather, man. We just moved in these areas. But I don't think evolutionary-wise, I just don't think it's conducive to happiness, essentially. But hey, they seem happy.
The temperature outside is so cold, so the moisture immediately forms little icicles on his eyelashes. 10 minutes in the fresh air can be enough to cause fatigue, stinging pain in the face, and long-lasting aches in the fingers and toes. But little hardy Yakut knows how to fight the cold.
Yakut.
But after a few minutes, the icy weather begins to assert itself forcefully. Aryan has been on his way for 10 minutes already, and now the 9-year-old Aryan is freezing.
What about that dog? That dog's naked pretty much. That's crazy how the dogs can survive.
Luckily, the last few meters are left and Aryan is finally at school.
Like, that dog looks cool. Like, he looks like he's just chilling. I mean, it doesn't have that much fur on him. His paws must be insane. Like, they must, I don't know, man. Dogs are different.
Aryan
breed, man.
arrives in time, and there are already many children who have also arrived by food. Aryan is studying in the 3rd grade of primary school. The primary school lasts 4 years, and in Yakutia, education lasts 11 years before going to university. There are about 8 students in the class today, and 5 hours of daily studying begins. Today they have math, literature, art, geography, history, and languages. Yakut people study 3 languages at school: Russian, English, and Saha. Saha is the mother tongue which belongs to the Turkic group and is totally different from the Russian language. For daily life, studying and working, knowing the Russian language is essential. After the first 2 lessons, it's time for a second breakfast. Today's menu is apple and eggs. Eating regularly is essential to increase energy in the cold winters for little Yakut.
Looks pretty warm in there.
After breakfast, they play indoors. The temperature is too cold to play outside, and after all, it takes too long to dress up again.
It's crazy, man. You're just like trapped inside. You're literally trapped indoors. Or else you die. It's so cold you die. Like, sometimes I go outside in the winter and I'm like, this, this sucks, but it's gonna take a little for me to die.
Скульптура. Того жетер мен онно эрчилебит, байнергерчилебит, хүребит, онюбут.
Usually the classes end at 2 p.m., but
All right,
today Aryan
finished
finished a little earlier.
I get it. They live a different lifestyle. They live in the cold. All right, so that's enough for me. I got a short attention span on this stuff. Kind of cool though. Yeah, cool. It's my people, man. It's my people. All right, so we're on to the next thing. International Space Station. Let's look into the ISS. This one's got 88 million views. That's pretty nuts. I like seeing this stuff. Different worlds, man. This is a different world completely. They're not even on the world.
And they're put together. That way we could sort of work on a flat plane, either a wall, a floor, another wall, or the ceiling. But, you know, again, all you have to do is turn yourself and your reference changes.
What does that feel like, man?
The reason I'm bringing that up is because this is where 4 out of 6 of us sleep. And so people always ask about sleeping in space. Do you lie down? Are you in a bed? Not really, because it doesn't matter. You don't really have the sensation of lying down. You just sit in your sleeping bag. So
How do you get
here's one
comfortable?
sleep station right here.
You know, like, is
I'm
there
going
different
in right
positions,
now.
or you just like?
You can follow me if you want.
That's crazy. You think anyone's ever had sex in space? They had to, right?
So I'm inside.
Like, they gotta be doing some freaky
It's sort
stuff
of like a little phone booth.
How's that work?
But it's pretty comfy. I've got a sleeping bag right here that we sleep in, so
I don't
we
think
don't
it could work.
have
Like, there's too
sort
much
of like a
motion.
little
Like,
bit of a cover. We
you're
don't
pushing us
fly
this-
all over
too
the
much
place.
this way.
But you know, you can sleep in any orientation.
like,
I have
you'd
it
have to
sleeping,
tie yourself down.
feeling like I'm standing up right now, but like you saw, I'm on the floor. But it doesn't matter if I turn over and I sleep upside down. I can't have it. I don't have any sensation in my head that tells me that I'm upside down. So it really doesn't matter.
Whoa. In space, there's no upside down. Whoa. Whoa. There's no directions in space.
The sleep station is also like a little
That is
office.
wild, though, to think about.
We've got a
'Cause
computer
we always
in
think
here.
up, down, but there's
As
no
you can
up,
see, we've
down.
got
It's just,
a couple little
you're just
toys. I've got
literally
some
just-
books.
you're in
I've
this
got
thing.
some
You're in the
clothes
void.
and other things that make it sort of like home. I'm coming out. And just for reference, that's one sleep
There.
station. This one's another. Right here.
That's craziness, dude.
There's one on the ceiling, if you want to call it. Right here. And then there's a fourth on the other wall over here. So all of us sleep in a little bit of a circle.
That's true.
All right, come on back. There's more to show you.
What? It looks like special effects.
I know that there's some questions about how to use the bathroom and how do you actually live in space like normal, like at home. I mentioned
true. How do
real
you
quickly
poop?
about getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth and washing your face. Well, how do you do that? Well, here is the bathroom, essentially. You get up in the morning and we have a little kit, and it has all the essential things that you need, like your toothbrush and toothpaste and brush. See how much better the
Why do you
brush
bother
makes my
doing
hair
your
look?
man?
I'm just joking. It still stands up straight. It doesn't matter where you are. It's always going to stand up straight while you're up in space. A lot of people ask about toothbrush and toothpaste. So, luckily enough, toothpaste, you can do it upside right this way, is sticky, and so it sticks to your toothbrush. No problem. Another cool thing is that water sticks to your toothbrush too. If you can see it. I'll have some water come out.
It's like bubbles.
Water is pretty neat up in space.
Yeah.
It'll stick to your toothbrush, and it will make
That's shit.
a big bubble,
That's wild.
and that's just by
Damn, that's wild.
surface tension.
Because usually bubbles are air.
And then you can
Well, I mean it's water too, but it's like that's crazy.
drink it. So a lot of people ask about what do you do with
It
the
just, like,
toothpaste
forms
after
a
you brush your
perfect
teeth.
cylinder.
Two options. Swallow it, and it's sort of like mouthwash, but it tastes a little gross.
It's gross. Yeah, you swallow in your own.
Or-
Okay.
You can just spit it out in a paper towel, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Hey Gary, what'd you do on Friday night? Oh, dude, it's crazy, man. Just watch some girl brush her teeth in space.
Swallowing thing I wouldn't recommend at home. I'm only up here for 4
What a time
months,
to be alive, baby.
so it's not that bad. One of the most pressing questions about living in space, of course, is the bathroom. So let's take a look at that little
Yeah.
piece of work.
That's what we all want.
Come on in.
How do you poop? She's actually gonna show us.
Here we are at the throne.
She's gonna
This
take
is
a poop.
awesome. You might see the little, you might have noticed the little moon on the outside. This is our orbital outhouse right here. And of course, it serves for two functions. Number 2, right here.
Is there suction?
I'll show you. But you see it's pretty small, so you have to have pretty good aim And you be ready to make sure things get let go the right direction. And it smells a little bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's, of course, for number 2.
I just picture like a turd just floating around the ISS. Grab that thing! Brian, you let the shit out again out of the toilet, bro! It's just floating into somebody's into somebody's bed. Just smacks him right in the face. There must, like, how does that work? There's got to be some kind of suction, no? It must just, hey, maybe I'm thinking a little too much about it.
And this guy right here.
There it is.
Is for number 1.
Oh, that's number 1.
So there's sort of 2 slightly separate functions, but you can do essentially both by hanging on right here and doing number 1 and number 2. I might add it's color coded, so you really don't get it mixed up, which is nice. This is yellow for number 1.
Right? It's gotta go.
And also, there's a selection of paper. People always ask about toilet paper. What do you do with toilet paper? What kind of toilet paper do you have? We have gloves just because sometimes it does get messy.
Wait a second. What do they do with the poop? Did they just let it fly out in space? Did they just empty it right there? Because if so, that means there's just astronaut shit just floating in space forever. I hope they do. And then an alien finds that. That's how aliens find out about us. They find our shit from the astronauts. I mean, they don't save it, right? They must. It's not littering in space, right? You can dump your shit in space. What do they do? They must just all right, open the latch. Just let it go. And it's just shit just floating in the void forever. For light years. I mean, it's not going to go away, right? Unless it hits some kind of other planet or a star, but the chances of that are minuscule. I don't know, man. It's probably floating forever. The forever floating fecal matter.
We have some Russian wipes, which are a little bit coarse if you like the coarse type of toilet paper. We have some nice tissues, which are nice and soft if you like soft toilet paper. We have Huggies, just for any cleanup. You know, we were all babies once, and this sort of helps. And then if things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes, just to make sure we clean up here. Because, you know, just like the water I showed you, the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both of these have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But
need the suction.
like I said, sometimes things get a little out of control if you are out of control yourself flying around. So we have lots of protective stuff.
Yo,
and of course, you do have your
space.
privacy. There's a little door, so other people know that you're in there. Here's a pretty cool place. This is sort of like in your house where everybody meets in the morning. After you wash your face, brush your teeth, you want to find something for breakfast. And this is our kitchen. You might notice there's all sorts of foods here. It's like opening the refrigerator. You got all your different stuff that you want to have: drinks, meats, eggs, vegetables, cereals, bread, snacks. And that's a good place. That's where you find all the candy. Side dishes, and then some little power bars just in case. So we have all this type of food. Some of it is dehydrated, and so we have to hydrate it, fill it up with water. Some of it is already made, and then all we have to do is heat it up. So something like this, I'm pulling out barbecued beef brisket. Pretty yummy. Not only is this food made in the US, but we also have food here from Japan. We've got Russian food. As you can see, all these red containers are filled with food that's from Russia. And then we get some of our specialty stuff, some things that we like, some of our favorite stuff that your family can send up. In fact, I like fluffernutters, and so I got sent up some fluff so I could make my fluffernutter with peanut butter.
Wild.
So you have a lot of food up here, no problems.
Zero gravity.
No, I want to say where we are. So right now, we're in the Japanese laboratory. It's one laboratory out of many here on the International Space Station. It's actually on the left-hand side. If I was International Space Station and I was flying through space like this, my left hand would be where the Japanese laboratory is. So now again, we're on the right-hand side, all the way on the right of the International Space Station. This is Columbus, the European module. It has science experiments all over. You could see it looks a little bit crowded. And here we do a lot of our medical experiments.
Experiments in space. What is that?
Here we are in the U.S. laboratory. Again, this is a laboratory with science experiments on all of the walls here, all sorts of stuff that we do. And one of the things we also do is we exercise. We have some exercise equipment on board the space station. We need to do that because we lose bone density and muscle mass while we're up here, and that's a result of not having to fight against gravity. So how we keep ourselves in shape are with a bike, a treadmill, and a weightlifting machine. This is the bike. You notice the clip pedals. So all you need to do is actually clip your feet in, and then you can start pedaling. You don't need a seat because you don't sit down. Actually, I haven't sat down for 6 months now, so you don't need any type of seat.
Weird.
Just make sure you're held in with your pedals. You probably see that the bike bounces around a little bit as I move.
She hasn't sat down in 6 months. That's just a weird thing to say. I sit down every day. That's crazy, man. The things you don't think about. She hasn't sat down in 6 months. What is that?
It's not steady and held to the wall firmly. And the reason for that is the space station is pretty big. You saw that there's also solar arrays on the space station. If we start putting any forces into the space station, it's going to make those solar arrays bounce around a little bit. So to prevent that, the machines bounce around a little bit, move around a little bit, and that way we don't put any forces onto the structure of the spacecraft out to the solar arrays. All right, a little farther on. Come on. I'm here with my two buddies in the airlock. Actually, these are two spacesuits that are ready, primed up to go outside, as we call it, to go do a spacewalk in case we have to do anything outside. Some of the things we do outside are just like inside, repairs. We have a lot of electrical boxes and machinery and solar arrays, in fact, that I talked about earlier, that are outside, and sometimes they don't work quite right. Remember, space is really cold and really hot, and it's also the vacuum of space with no pressure, and so some of the equipment doesn't work well all the time. So we might have to go out and do a spacewalk. Right behind me is actually the hatch that you go out into space, and right now we have it filled up with a couple other spacesuits because we've got 4 of them.
Isn't it funny that it's called space? Like, what is that up there? It's just a bunch of space. So what do we call it? Space? Right? We think it's a thing, but no, it's not. It's just like, it's space, dude. It's space. It's like space you have in your room. There's a certain amount of space. Well, that's just space. Like, in my room, there's a certain quantified amount of space based upon square footage, right? But in space, it's just space. That's it, man. It's just a whole lot of space. Just a whole lot of room. It's just space, bro.
Of them up here and some of our tools, but right behind here is the hatch in which you actually go right outside into the...
Isn't it crazy, right? Think about this. We got the whole conspiracy about flat Earth, and people are like, well, what if we live in a dome? What if, we're on flat Earth, bro? What if this is some kind of, almost like a snow globe? I'm always like, well, I guess maybe that would be insane. That would be crazy, right? But isn't it crazier? Wouldn't it be more of a conspiracy? Hold on a sec. Wouldn't it be more of a conspiracy, like a crazier thing that they're trying to keep under wraps? They are trying to keep under wraps. That we're on this little pebble, this little spherical rock in the middle of infinite nothingness, in the middle of just literally a void, just floating in nothing at all. And we're trapped here. We're sucked down by gravity. For some reason, mass attracts us here. And we can't get out. We can, kinda, sorta, but not really. Isn't that more of a conspiracy than we're on a globe? right? Wouldn't that be something to keep under wraps? That we're in infinite. It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any logical sense. We're literally traveling in infinity. We are light traveling in infinity. In nothingness. That's what we are. Isn't that more of something to keep under wraps? If you want to keep some kind of sense of control, keep people in their paradigms, keep people in their locus of, this is my world, this is how it is, this is how I see myself in the world. Wouldn't it be easier to control people by saying that we are, in fact, on a globe? Like, yeah, you're on a globe. I mean, you're on a flat earth kind of globe thing. It's all good. It's all controlled. Don't worry about it. This is the world. No, you know what the world is? The world isn't Earth. The world is an infinite black void. And yes, there's some things like planets, there's suns, there's black holes, which whatever that is, whatever a black hole is, right? There's some things in this space, but the majority of this world of the universe that we live in is nothing. It's just the vast, I don't know the number, I don't think you could ever really quantify it, but when you see pictures, you can see it, that the majority of this thing that we're caught in, whatever this is nothing. The majority of it is just it's space. It's infinite, just nothingness, right? That's what it seems like, at least. That's what it seems like. On the surface level, it seems like we are just caught in eternity. And it's ever expanding. Somehow they figured that out, right? Somehow they figured out that in this giant space, this endless space, it's also expanding. I mean, it would have to be, right? If it's endless, that means it's expanding. There's no edges. But what does that even mean, bro? Come on, son. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? We're here just trying to get through the day, wake up, go to work, pay the bills, get by, eat some food, maybe fornicate here and there, watch some Netflix. And all while we're doing that with our humanly affairs, we're floating. We're just existing in this infinite black void that has things like black holes, which, you know what black holes are? They swallow light. They swallow light. And at the center of a black hole, time doesn't exist. Like, what does that even mean, bro? What does that even mean, bro? Come on, son. Come on, son. All right. Other than that, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Vacuum of space. The spacesuit is pretty big, as you can see. It's like being a football player. Part of the reason it's so big and bulky is because of this backside, this backpack. It's like going on a hike with a backpack, but the backpack and the suit weighs about 300 pounds. Luckily, in space, nothing really weighs anything, so you don't feel that it's so heavy. But we need to have such a big suit because that guy back there is essentially the heart of the spacecraft. I call this actually a spacecraft. It has all the oxygen for you. It has all the carbon dioxide removal system for you. It also has a heating and cooling system to make sure to regulate our body temperatures while we're outside. It also has a computer. So it tells you on a display here if there's anything that's going wrong with the suit, if we're running out of oxygen, if we have too much carbon dioxide, or any type of electrical problem. So it's a pretty awesome.
And if the stream is weirdly colored, it's because I'm using this thing called flux, which is it takes out all the blue light, so your eyes and essentially your brain adjust to the day going into darkness a little bit better, more naturally, because all this blue light, I guess, from our screens and the light bulbs, it's not natural for us to have that light past a certain time, so it kind of like messes with our circadian rhythm, supposedly. So I got a thing on my screen that takes out the blue light at a certain time, and it syncs with the sun. I recommend everybody get it. It's called Flux, F.LUX. It's pretty cool. Yeah, man. You gotta take care of yourself. Take care of your circadian rhythm.
Awesome little spacecraft, and actually got to go out, use my little spacecraft a couple times, and it worked like a charm. Lucky that it works very nice. You might want to see what the helmet looks like. It's pretty cool too, because we don't usually go out like this, so you usually can see when the helmet's open. So you can see what it looks like inside. Somebody's little head would be inside of here. So you can see, you can turn your head all the way around while you're inside of there, but the helmet stays still. So that's determines your how far you could see. And it's usually pretty sunny out there, so we have to wear our sunglasses, and this is our sunglasses right here, which make you look pretty cool.
Pretty cool with a K.
It's like a glass-bottom boat. This is the cupola. It sticks down below the space station. It's one of those places you find yourself hanging out in all the time because all you want to do is look back at our planet. I think some questions I had were about what do you do in your free time? And you can't help but want to just come to the cupola and look outside as much as you can. And a lot of folks, I play this game with myself about where we're flying over the Earth. Try to come in here and just guess. After being here for a little while, you can sort of figure it out. You can tell different cloud types over different continents. You can tell different soil types over different continents. So let's see. And then, of course, there's a lot of ocean. So usually we're over the ocean at first glance.
Space, darkness, darkness.
I will tell you in just a moment where we are.
Wow. I imagine this video doesn't do the view justice.
What? There we go. So right now we are right over Africa. It's a little bit cloudy, as you can tell, but we're right over the continent of Africa.
It's crazy. There's people up there right
Hey, what's that? I think that's a Soyuz spacecraft. That's the spacecraft that's taken us home to planet Earth today. Oh my gosh. We might have to go take a look at that.
now. Some goddamn commies.
That's pretty cool. It's a little bit smaller than the rest of the spacecraft, the space station, so you'll see if we go there, it'll be a little bit more crammed. But we're going, you can look all the way back to the back of the spacecraft, which is where the Russian segment is. And then you could look all the way forward to the front of the spacecraft, where the Japanese laboratory, the European laboratory, and the American laboratory are. And then back to the solar arrays where we started this morning when we were looking out the Japanese window.
Earth is big, man, but it's really not relative to the universe. It's a pebble. We're just specks.
So other questions that were here are, what would you recommend as a job, if so, and to what type of person would want to be an astronaut? I think people who would like to explore. Of course, people who like math and science, that's what this is all about. We have people in the office who are doctors, teachers, veterinarians, engineers, pilots. So all sorts of people become astronauts. And I think if you see, it's just sort of cool. So I think people who like to do a little adventure and like to do cool stuff probably usually become astronauts.
Cool stuff. I like
Hey,
cool
one
stuff.
thing I didn't show you, or I talked about but I didn't show you, was the exercise, another piece of exercise device, which is the advanced resistive exercise, and that's what this is right here. This is ARED. And you could probably see this bar. You just do a little bit of maneuvering here. Stand by. You have to set it up just like at any other gym. Hold on. Show you how this works. So you can see you can change your attitude just by going from one module to the next, going up from the cupola down here. This is what we call the ARED. And with this, you can lift weights based on vacuum in these cylinders, just like you do at home at a gym. For example, if I wanted to do a squat, I could do it like this. Oops. I should need some weight on this thing. I'm not lifting with anything, so it's too easy. One of the cool things you could do things that you can't do at home. For example, single leg squats with just one leg. because the other leg, you won't fall over. So all sorts of stuff. You can also do bench press. We have a bench that we could add on here, so you can work on your beach muscles. Hey, Aki, what are you doing down there?
Crashing things.
This is one of the cool things about space too. It sort of looks like there's a big old hole here, but you don't even think twice about it. You can just jump over the hole, or if you want, you can go jump into the hole. I'm coming down.
Holes in space, other than black holes.
Then you can come right back up again, like Superman. Woo!
I have to experience that. Before I die, I gotta experience zero gravity. And not in, you know,
We're lucky we
thing
have a
called the
really
vomit
cool
comet.
big
If you guys
space
ever heard of
station
that,
that
I'm
you
on
can
to
fly
space.
around in. That's actually called the
I'm going to
PMM.
space.
You might have saw it out the window. It's a big silver canister. What's really great about that is it's essentially our closet in our pantry, or whatever you want to call it. We have extra food down there. We have extra clothes. We actually throw the trash out down there. So it's nice and organized, and we have all of our stuff that we need while we're working in all these other modules all stowed in this location down here. And it's a
What do
lot
they
of
do with
fun
trash,
to
man?
play.
Trash and poop, right? You can just get rid of it, right? No one's gonna say anything. It's not like you're littering. It's infinity. Doesn't matter where it goes. No one's gonna have to pick it up. The alien's gonna have to pick it up. It's gonna go to like the Andromeda Galaxy, and the aliens gonna be like, those goddamn humans. They're messing up our galaxy. They find like a Doritos bag or something. Those goddamn humans. A Doritos bag and somebody's turd. God damn it, those monkeys.
We're
Milky
going
Way
into the
galaxy.
Russian segment. Be ready. You don't need a passport either.
Alright, I'm kind of it's getting a little old. I get the picture.
It goes a
It's
lot
pretty
farther
trippy.
back than this. We'll go take a trip and say hello to the boys down
we
there
got-
in
we
just
got
a minute.
it.
Well, let's do that first, actually.
On to new ventures. Damn, man, I don't think I really have anything else. Let's put on some jazz. Yeah, man. This was cool. I like those videos. See if I can find something else. You know, we got time. I'm up. I'm staying up. I'm staying in the flow. What do I got for y'all? Let me see. I don't know, bro. It's all just a bunch of poop. I gotta come a little bit more prepared. I don't know, man. Hey, space is crazy. Space is wild, bro. You know, when you ever just get lost in the drama of your life, just think about how big space is. Think about how your little problems, they really don't matter, man. In the scheme of things, do they really matter? They really don't. Because we're just these little ants on a rock, just trying to get by, just trying to survive, just trying to reproduce. That's what we are, man. But we're also not. On one angle we are. It seems like we are these little tiny monkeys, just trying to get by, trying to make it to the next meal, trying to fulfill our desires. But on the other side of those desires is a greater picture of our being, right? On the other side of the woes of life, of the suffering, of the human condition, of the noise, is what we really are. And what we really are is that cosmos that we just explored. It is that space. It is the black hole. It's everything. It's the process that all of this is caught in. All that matter is and isn't. That's what we really are, man. And you, me, those astronauts, those Yakut people, we're all the same process. Seemingly separate, seemingly so small. Just caught in our little lives, No matter if we're in Siberia, or no matter if we're on the space station, or we're doing a live stream that nobody's probably watching. I don't know, I haven't checked. I'm just here chilling myself. But either way, man, what I'm trying to say is we're all the same. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. We're all alive in the same process. We're in the cosmos. That infinity, that eternity, that ever-expanding universe that we're caught in, that's us, man. That's what we really are. And all the other things, that's secondary to our true being, our true ever-expanding being. And man, I don't know, I can't tell you how to find that essence. Maybe I can give you some suggestions, write into me if you want. I can give you some suggestions, meditation, psychedelics. There's some things that I could suggest, but truly, it's in your own accord to find that, man. It's all in our own accord to find that essence of connection to the cosmos and to each other and to, some may say, God. We have it all. We're all connected. All is one, man. That oneness is infinity. Which thus means we are essentially immortal. You can find that. We can all find that, man. That's our infinite nature that we can all find. It's all within. When Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within, that's what it is, man. It's a perspective change. It's to find out what you really are and what you really aren't. And what you really are is way more than these hands, these eyes, this nose, this body, these legs. We're way more than that. We're way more than you can ever imagine, than I could ever imagine, that I could ever say. But there's something to tap into within yourself. If you take enough time, do it with enough discipline, and do it with an earnest curiosity. Ask yourself, say, what am I? What really am I? Where do I start? Where do I end? Do I end at my skin? Do I start in here? What is my true being? Ask that relentlessly, man. And you can come to find it. Because that's your birthright. That's all of our birthrights, man. To find out what our true being is. I believe that. And once you find that essence, that spark, that taste of your true being, man, it never leaves you. It's forever part of your being. It's like a switch that turns on in your brain that you can't turn off. It's that God energy, man. It's that enlightenment, if you want to say that word. Think about the term enlightenment. It's a light that turns on to show you the true essence of what you are. And like I said, what you are is greater than your desires, your sensual pleasures. It's greater than anything this body could yield to your consciousness. Greater than the five senses. Way greater than that. Greater than making it to the next meal. Greater than making it to the next time you orgasm. Greater than anything, any sensation, any good shower you take. It's greater than any of that. Right? Because that's what we throw that in our heads. Maybe when I get this, that's when I'll be complete. When so-and-so does this for me. When I get the car. When I get the house, that's when I'll be good. That's when I'll be complete. No, we're all complete, man. We're always complete, no matter what. No matter what, we're always complete. Our mind, which I think we got into this earlier, our mind creates the illusion of separation from when we're a baby and we grow up and we're molded into a human being. We're molded into that separation. We're molded into an essence of incompleteness. But always, no matter what, we're complete. Right? We're complete. And yes, you can have that essence of we're complete, all is good, all is well, all is love, all is peace, all is God. But you still gotta play the game, right? We still gotta be a human. We are part of the infinity. We're part of eternity. Yes. Okay, now what, Gary? Right? We're all part of this infinite process of becoming our true being, of becoming God, of being God. Okay, but that's cool. That sounds great, right? I'm still a human. And that's the beauty of it, bro. That's what you come to realize. Is that somehow, simultaneously, I can be this feeble human with its problems, its sorrows, you know, its passions. But yet, at the same time, at the same exact time as that, I'm everything and nothing. At the same time, I am this hairy creature. Well, yeah, I'm kind of hairy, right? Kind of hairy. I'm this hairy creature, you know, that has to take a shit, that gets hungry, that gets horny, that gets bored, that gets sweaty, that gets smelly. At the same time, I'm that creature. There's something in me that says, wait, are you really though? Is that all you are? Or is this just a show? Is this just playing the game of being human for a little bit? Is this just some kind of, I don't know, mirage? Some kind of illusion? I think so. The key is to use the illusion for liberation. How do you not resist the desires of being a human, but go with the flow of being a human? No push, no pull. How do you really be with it? How do you be a human at the same time you're infinity? No push, no pull, just be here, man. How do you just be here? And once we can all find that out, I think we find liberation. And we all do it in our own circumstances, in our own life, in our own karma. But it's the same flow. It's the same plane. And as we started this thing out, man, it's all the same plane of love. It's the flow of love. And what is love, man? I'm not gonna get into that. I could go all night on that. And you know what? I'm still figuring it out. But I do believe that love is our essential nature. Love is something that you find within yourself. And love is something that you live as. And love is something that you receive as well. It's a two-way street. But you don't yearn for it. You know, you don't beg for love. You just be it. And you just so happen to get it at the same time. It's a state of flow, like Ram Dass said. And that's how you view the image of infinity, of the greater being, the ultimate being, the self with a capital S, Purusha, with Prakriti. The big and the small, the infinite and the finite of human, is you just love. You just love. Because if you're stuck in your humanness, you're gonna suffer. If you're stuck in the greater, trying to be greater than a human, you're gonna suffer. So where does those two come together in terms of the chakras? They come together in the middle at the heart. And it's a blend between the two, between our animalistic urges, our instincts, and our spiritual essence that we are, the greater essence that we are. They come together at the heart, at our center, and they express through our voice. And yeah, we create a loving world. We create heaven on earth. I think that's what we're doing. Other than that, guys, yeah, I think I'm gonna hop off this thing. This was pretty cool. This is pretty fun. I think I'm gonna do this regularly. I like just coming on here. Like I said, being live is cool because it's like this holds me accountable for my words. Like if I was to just record this, I don't even know if anybody's watching. I'm just doing this myself. But if I was to record this, there would be the thing in the back of my head that says, oh, well, maybe you said that wrong. Just go back, stop recording. Maybe you can edit this, or like go back. Like there's no going back. You know, being live holds me accountable for what I have to say. So I have to just be me. You know, there's no going back. What a time to be alive. What a time to be live. Maybe that's what I'll call this thing. Yeah, other than that, guys, hey, this was fun. In the future, I'm probably going to be a little more prepared. Gonna have some better videos. I don't even know how long I've been doing this, but definitely gonna do it a little bit longer. This is just a trial run. This is just me having some fun on a Friday night. Just wanted to come on here because I'm a little lonely. I don't even know if anybody's talking to me. Let me see. Excellent flow state, brother. Hey, thank you, Wholesome Dad. Chris Alves, shout out Eastern Russia. Shout out Chris Alves. I gotta look at the chat more. Yeah, man, I gotta look at the chat more. I want to create like a whole thing where, you know, I'm talking to you guys are talking back to me, and we're having some fun. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about. I just want to have some fun, bro. I don't care about the clout. I don't care who's watching me. I don't need anybody to watch me, dude. I'm living my own life. Like, I just started this thing. I just want to have some fun with people, create good times, create good vibes, and yeah, like I said, just have some fun, bro. That's what it's all about. Just some fun on a Friday night. Who doesn't want some fun on a Friday night? And you know what? It's not gonna just be Friday nights. It's gonna be Saturday night. It's gonna be Sunday night. It's gonna be Monday nights. It's gonna be Tuesday nights. It's gonna be Wednesday nights. Thursday nights, maybe that'll be the day off. We're gonna be doing this, man. We're gonna take over the world. We're gonna take over the live space, and we're gonna have fun, because that's what it's all about. That's what we need more of in life. Fun. The PH. Fun. I'm gonna get that on a shirt. Fun. PH. Alright, guys, I'm gonna go to bed, and hope y'all enjoyed.